we persevered in the first period solely because of Bob. Our penalty kill was okay, but we were, again, talking about self-inflicted wounds. Poor decisions with the puck and turnovers led to great opportunities for them, and that score could have been easily 4 or 5-1 in the first period, if not for Bob. So Bob really held down the fort, kept us in the game, and gave us an opportunity. And then I thought, the guys dug down, and you would think you'd maybe come out and start, based on the number of games that we've played, energy-wise, that we come out and start the game the right way, and then maybe finish the wrong way. But we didn't start the game the right way, but we certainly finished the game the right way.
How different are the Red Wings now than they were a few years ago? Not just with the injuries, but in style of play. A lot of stick work, a lot of grabbing, a lot of clutching away from the action. Not so much the freewheeling team they used to be.
I still see them as a free, probably, when you're missing, Zetterberg and Datsuk, those two guys, that's a real black hole. As far as they're talented guys, and they're leaders of their team, and lots of skill. And but I really thought in the first period they did a great job. They were skating, had the puck, created a lot of turnovers, forced us into some tough positions where we ended up, making some poor plays. And they were winning battles. But again, I thought we got ourselves into it, and I think a big part of that was because of Mark Letestu, Derek McKenzie, and Blake Como.
Todd, right off the top of my head, it seems like since both Murray and Tootin have been out, your team outside of the Chicago game has turned in some fairly good defensive performances. Is that all on Bob, or?
I thought in Nashville, we played a really good team game. In the way that we started in Dallas, I know it was only six and a half minutes, but we started that game really well. The first period here was not good, and it was all Bob. And penalties again. I think the emotion was pretty high in our room, and again, sometimes it can take you the wrong way. The emotion, I think it did. We got into penalty trouble, had to kill penalties, and again, I think if it overcomes you, you start making some poor plays with the puck, and I think that was the case. But once we settled in, we were fine, and I like that we started to grind them down a little bit in the offensive zone. We were spending so much time in our defensive zone because we had absolutely nothing in the offensive zone. But when we got it to switch there a little bit, I think that helped. And then I really think that helped for our third period that we got. Because, again, when we play with our size and speed, and we can grind teams down. And their defensemen play really tight. But again, I think if you can wear them down a little bit and start getting them in foot races, I think it can pay off later in the game.
You said the emotion was high. I can think of several reasons why that would be. Can you speculate as to maybe what the number one reason was?
For the emotion?
Yeah, you said the emotion was high.
It was just a big game. It was a huge game. It was both sides knew that. And I think there were other things too. This was our 6th game in 9 days, and I know we only played 6.5 minutes last night. We still had to travel in, and I when you're getting ready for the game too, you're investing in it mentally and physically and emotionally. And then obviously with what happened in the game last night, I think there was a toll there. So I think there was reasons for the emotion and maybe being a little bit fatigued at the beginning. But again, I think once we got our legs underneath us and again, we got a little bit more clear in our heads and what we needed to do and how we needed to play, our game got a lot better.
How much of the emotion stemmed from who was in the building tonight?
Detroit?
Yeah.
It was a big game, and everything had to do with playing Detroit. It was a big game, playing Detroit.
Todd, just wondering how you treat this game. It's 2 points, it's a playoff race, it's awfully tight, but considering you were playing a team that was right on your heels in the standings, a rival team, does it feel like one of those wins that you feed off just a little bit more, that you refer back to as something that that your team was playing a team challenging you and you fought them off. Is there something more to a win like this because of that?
Right now, at the stage of the season, I don't think so. We got to regroup. We got to get ready for San Jose on Thursday. And again, as a coach, that's how you think. And then you got to go into Minnesota on Saturday, and both playoff teams. And we got Detroit in 2 weeks, anyways, playing here at home. So the game in Nashville was, I would say, because we were playing at home, maybe not quite as much emotion in it, but you're playing at home, so I think there is a little bit more, but I wouldn't put too much weight into that.
Todd, what was the mood like on the bench before and after the 2 goals 40 seconds apart in the third? How much did that lift things?
I really liked the way our bench was really all game. I know our first period wasn't good, but I think guys were saying the right things, and again, we just weren't as sharp as what we needed to be. But I thought in the second and the third, the bench was really good, really good. And obviously when you score goals like that, for me too, it was the crowd. It was the noise. And I know we weren't sold out, and you saw a lot of white and red up in the crowd, which, again, as a coach playing at home, it bothers you a little bit. But it's still, I thought the energy that we were able to create in the building and then get from the fans, I think that really helped us.
How aware were you of what was happening with the Flyers and the Rangers tonight, or when were you checking up on it?
That's something during timeouts. I just, again, as a coach going up and down the bench, I think you're looking up and around, and obviously we got those big scoreboards, and you're able to see scores flash by. So that's the only opportunity that I saw.
But after the game, did you go and check?
Yeah, but I wasn't coming in to check to say I want to look at the scores. When we come in, we're already making decisions based on what we do, what we want to do tomorrow or even Thursday. And then again, once you're able to, I think, address the team and talk to the team, now you're able to start looking elsewhere. And prior to me coming in here, we were watching Pittsburgh play against Washington, and we did see the end of New Jersey against Philadelphia.
Are you walking along the bench and looking at the scores in the arena? Are you telling the players about this?
Absolutely not. No, and again, it's not an intentional thing. It's not like I'm sitting there and I want to know what the scores are. Again, you're just kind of looking around, and again, what was great, and this goes back even to last year. Again, what do coaches notice? What do they look at? And when we were playing that game against Nashville, and we scored the second goal to go up 2-1. I was looking around the crowd, and there were some great moments as far as watching the fans react to that. And again, there was a little bit of that tonight too. After the goals, you just look around and you can see the fans were into it. The fans were into it, and again, I think that really helped our team tonight.